All right, we're gearing up to finally dig into the rear window on our old W126 300 SD. I have done a lot of inspecting here around this car and on the back side here and around this window, and this glass has been out of the car before. It's pretty clear that they realized that the seal beneath the glass was leaking and they took measures to fix the leak. That's all they did. They just fixed the water leak, and they could have done a better job. You can tell right here, well, you probably can't see on the camera. Let me see if I can get some illumination there. That's a little better. The seal here is a little wobbly. It's a little deformed. I'm not sure what caused that. Maybe installation practices. You can see here that the trim is not, it doesn't come all the way together. You can see where it used to rest, probably, you know, from the factory, but when they reinstalled the glass with the new rubber seal, they couldn't get it on there completely. And I think that's the reason for that is because they did not get this metal trim down below this rubber lip. So this rubber lip, and guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but, and you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get a screwdriver right now and prove my theory. So stand by 1 second. All right, we've got a little screwdriver here. So there should be a rubber lip here that rests on top of the trim. You can see here that the trim is on top of the rubber. Well, this just leaves a gap right there for water to go down in there. That's not right. Let's see what we have here. See? All right, there we go. Yep. Look at that. Look at it. It rained. I was driving around in the rain yesterday, as a matter of fact. And look at there. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there's water underneath that seal. So you can see right here that I'm digging into the channel, right? And that channel is supposed to be on top of this, keeping water from going underneath the trim. Yeah. All right, but we're going to fix that eventually. The trim is in really good shape, although it does need some polishing. And before we put it back on the car, we'll polish it up real nice. We'll make it look real nice before we get it back on the car. So what has happened here? There is rust down below this seal. Water was getting into the trunk. The previous owner recognized this. They took it someplace and they did kind of a hack fix. They pulled the glass out, pulled the rubber out, put a new rubber seal in, along with some glue or some sort of adhesive to seal up the holes. And then they put the rubber seal on, and then they put the glass in and put the trim back on. That's the way they fixed it. So let's go ahead and get in the trunk here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, you see right here, we've got a little problem area right here, and this is a seam in the body, and I guess this is where water sits in this section when it rains, and then, you know, sits right in there and it rusts. So I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. Maybe some rust stop and some sealer to get up in there. I'm not sure, but let's go. Let's get you underneath here. Now you can see right there, got some rust right in there. Look at that. See that paint peeling off? All right, we're in the trunk. And I had to get my big butt in this trunk here. So you can see where the water was leaking through the bottom of the window seal and came out right here and caused a lot of rust. We've got to fix that. This stuff flakes off and gets in the carpet in the trunk. Man, that looks gnarly right in there. Look at that. Oh, that's that's some paint. That's just some paint that's flaked away. And you can see there's a lot of rust there. Man, that's a mess. Now, you see this right? You see this line right here? That light colored line? That is some adhesive that, and I'm assuming that's not from the factory. I'm assuming, I could be wrong. If I am, let me know. Put it in the comments below, and that's fine. If I'm wrong, hey man, I'm wrong, you know. But I don't think this bead of sealant was stock from the factory, based on what I'm seeing up top with the trim looking the way it is and the rubber not fitted to the trim properly. You can see there's a lot of rust in here. So what they did was they pulled the window out, pulled the rubber out, cleaned everything up maybe a little bit, who knows, and they just put a line of some sort of sealant in there before they put everything back together, and they put the rubber back in, and they put the window back in, and they called it done. Now, it rained yesterday in a big way. We had a big old rainstorm, and I drove the car into the shop here, and I opened the trunk, and lo and behold, it was dry. So I was like, okay, well, that's pretty good. And that sealant, that bead of sealant goes all the way across the car. Isn't that crazy? But there's your rust. There's some more rust there. So we got a lot of work to do. So, all right, let me get out of this trunk. So our task ahead will be to remove this trim and remove the back glass and the rubber seal and begin to do rust cleanup work down in this channel. We'll have to remove all of the sealant that they installed or that they applied. And then once we've done with that, we'll have to get a wire wheel down in here or some kind of brush and clean this up as good as we can. And we'll have to make an assessment about which metal we can keep and which metal we're going to have to cut out, because I'm pretty sure we'll probably have to cut some metal out that's too far gone. I'll probably need to purchase some automotive grade body sheet metal from a place here in town, and then we'll use that. I've got a metal brake, but my dad borrowed it a while back and hasn't returned it, so I may have to go get it or either buy another one. I'm not sure, but the channel will probably have a couple of curves here and there that we'll have to mimic. We'll also have to put a curve in it as well. I partially restored a 66 Impala back in 03, and that's kind of the experience that I had. I actually did a lot of work in this particular area on that old Impala, and so I kind of know what is probably going to be needed on this job. But we're going to have to be doing some sheet metal bending, some sheet breaking, some shaping, some bending, and definitely some welding. Once we get the new metal in there, we get it all squared away, we get a primer coat in there, get some paint in there, then we can put this thing back together, put the new rubber seal in, get the window back in, get our newly polished trim back on, and bring this back glass infrastructure back to its original factory glory. All right, that is my plan, folks. This is just a short little vlog video to let you know what is coming up next. So appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you soon.